You don't know Baron Mordo, the malevolent master of magic whose mustache, much like his relationship with Doctor Strange, just can't seem to close the divide? Well, I'd be enchanted to tell you. To fully understand Baron Carl Mordo, we'll have to take it all the way back to two royal pains in the abracadabra. His grandfather, Viscount Heinrich Krauler of Bavaria, and his father, Baron Nikolai Mordo of Transylvania. Baron Nikolai began learning the dark arts in order to return his homeland of Transylvania back to its former haunted glory. Viscount Krauler, hearing of this, enlisted his daughter Sarah to wed the Baron and enact a spell to steal his magical powers. But in order for the spell to work, they needed a mutual heir, and thus our little Carl Mordo was born. Given that neither parent particularly wanted a child, Carl Mordo grew up neglected and ignored. So after his father's death, when Grandpa, the Viscount Krauler, offered to teach little Carl evil magics, he got to conjuring. But one day, overhearing that the Krowlers had secretly killed his father, Carl swore to complete his father's mission to rule over all and to get revenge on his family. Mordo, learning all he could from his grandfather, sought out the Ancient One for further training. Though the Ancient One could sense the darkness in him, he knew he needed an heir, and Mordo was a star pupil and gifted sorcerer. But going against the Ancient One's warnings, Mordo struck a deal with Dormammu, the ruler of the Dark Dimension, and finally took revenge on his family. Yep, murder! But that wasn't enough. Baron Mordo craved more status, more power, and sought to supplant the Ancient One. And he would have too if it wouldn't have been for that meddling Doctor Strange. In fact, the Ancient One made Doctor Strange and Mordo roommates. I've heard of a bad roommate situation, but that's awful. The competition between the two drove them to be great. While Strange sought knowledge, Mordo sought power. And when the Ancient One died at the tentacles of the interdimensional monster Shumagarath, it was Doctor Strange, not Mordo, who became the Sorcerer Supreme. I mean, duh, obviously, Mordo, you're pretty freaking evil. Realizing he couldn't conquer the world on his own, Mordo turned to other powerful entities from across the multiverse. He tried selling his soul to Mephisto and Satanish the Supreme, aligned himself with cosmic entities like Sisneg, as well as various other multiversal monsters. But most of all, he conspired with Dormammu to take over the world. Even dying couldn't stop Mordo. Seriously, even dying. Wherever Baron Mordo goes, he seeks to conquer. If it wasn't for that meddling Doctor Strange and his fully formed facial hair, guess Mordo should have stuck with ruling Transylvania. And now, you do know Baron Mordo.